Ah, the holiday season. Time for gift giving, making merry, and watching old classic movies, and, of course, roasting chestnuts on the open fire. Wait a minute. Roasting chestnuts? Well, join me this holiday season as we figure out, can you beat Guilty Gear Strive with only for roasting chestnuts? The rules are simple. I must only harm enemies with the move known as for roasting chestnuts, as shown on the screen. This move, when used by Queen Dizzy, causes a fire projectile to launch, initially upward, then zooming towards the enemy. Whilst I am allowed to whiff my inputs because, well, I'm not perfect, I'm only human, I am not actually allowed to hit anything with any other move other than for roasting chestnuts, otherwise it forces an immediate reset. The difficulty is also set on Maniac difficulty for challenge, and without further ado, let's get into
versus Gold Lewis Dickinson, Jacko, Faust.
Here in front we have what I call the tiresome trio. Is it because they weren't in the Christmas spirit and doused my flame before I could win? Well, no, they just kind of sucked. So let's discuss why. Starting with Gold Lewis, his defeat at my hands of my nut roasting fire isn't really shocking. He's a pretty large target, and his ability to escape my heat-seeking barrage is just far too limited for him to put up much of a fight. And so we easily clear him and move on to Jacko, and let me just say, what a fall from grace for Jacko. Going from a premier threat in the last challenge run, please go watch, to an absolute joke here, Jacko seems to constantly be trying to summon her little minions, as is her gameplay style. The problem is, while she does so, I'm constantly raining down heavy fire in her direction, popping her minions and putting her back to square one. Strangely, unlike older games, Strive AI doesn't seem to be the most aggressive in early rounds, even with the highest difficulty, so we dispose of Jacko and move on to the hardest of the trio, Faust. Now, Faust was always destined to be more difficult with his propensity to block and his strange movements, and credit where credit is due, he does manage to even hit me with a super for some big damage, and that almost cost me a round. In the second round, he opens up with more big damage, easily tearing through my health bar and putting me on the back foot, and even managing to hit me with yet another super, leading into a wall break. It was a shockingly close run thing at the end, but he just wasn't able to overcome my fireplace level attacks. And with the gutter trash out the way, let's look at the first hurdle of the run. The man, the myth, the legend,
versus Axel Lowe.
I know what you're thinking. How has the perpetual joke of my challenge runs managed to actually pose a threat? He was a piece of cake in nearly all my runs, but here he's actually putting on the pressure? The key to his success here is his fast attack speed, long range, and his ability to drag me towards him, which puts me at risk of more attacks. My ability to whiff inputs, thus giving him more time to win, also can't be overstated, and in one round I literally only win by literally the skin of my teeth. But that didn't hold at the very next round. He manages to yank me into close range for a clothesline finisher, tying us up 1-1 in the next set. So how do I manage to get past this British drunkard's unending assault? Simple. You see me hopping back and forth, close to and far away from him? This is in a bid to confound his AI and hope he won't be able to come up with a good attack to counter me. And it seems to work, because by the end of the match, I hit my stride, and I just start spamming my chestnut roasting onslaught until the Brit is finally burnt to a crisp.
versus Ramlethal Valentine. Versus Giovanna.
Giovanna. Another shocking challenger to come my way, however, not without good reason, as she's the closest to what old Guilty Gear AI used to be, constantly getting in my face and making it difficult to breathe. The first round was all I could do to get her off my ass, so I could burn her and her mutt to her crisp. On the second round, Giovanna managed to pierce my guard and nearly pin me to the wall, forcing a desperate retreat to the other side of the screen. By the end of the fight, Giovanna attempts one more time to break my guard, but runs right into my attack and perishes in chestnutty glory. Not one of the great challenges of the run, but a step up from the fodder for I've had to deal with. Now onto the character I pretty much consider my rival in these challenge runs.
Versus Chip Zaniff.
Chip Zaniff. My most hated rival. Was I able to beat him first try? Was I able to roast him like a chestnut? Well... no, not even close. Chip Zaniff, for all intents and purposes, is the final boss of the run. He is quick, he is defensive, and is even able to attack between the time I trigger the attack, but before the flaming spear actually hits him. Not to mention, out of any character I've fought, he is the only one to consistently use super moves on me in battle, something I haven't seen since Faust from earlier. If that weren't bad enough to clinch the set he beat me in, he even has the nerve to use his ultimate move to style on me. All because I wanted to spread some holiday cheer. And it wasn't long before he finished me off. Overall, he defeated me 2 times, bringing my death counter to 3. On the final run, Chip put up no less of a fight, literally bringing me down to perhaps 10 HP before I somehow got lucky enough to get the win by pinning him down with repeat fire. The second run was no less close as he hit me with yet another disgusting super, bringing me below half health, but managed to survive in the corner, fending him off. Near the end, he managed to pierce my guard, forcing us to swap our positions, but one last roast of the chestnuts manages to bring this annoying weeb down. Wait, what do you mean this is in the final round? Oh, so in the Abba Fight, I'm forced to battle with the help of Gold Lewis from earlier. Do I want him? No. So I intentionally die, hoping that maybe in the next round, he'd let me battle her by myself. When that plan spectacularly fails, I try to see if Abba would be able to defeat Gold Lewis herself, which I would then let her hit me and it'd be even, but I'd hate to tell you that somehow the final boss of this run can't beat the guy we beat up in the first round. Okay, so I try to let Abba defeat me again. Keep in mind I didn't do any damage to Abba whatsoever, but somehow despite trying to lose and doing no damage, Abba still manages to lose. Well, I didn't do any damage myself, so did I win the run? I'll let all of you decide, but just in case, depending on your point of view, you can, or cannot, beat Guilty Gear Strive with Only For Roasting Chestnuts. Happy holiday, people, happy New Year's, and I will see you all in 2025 and beyond.